Good day, my name is Haj. I am the chairman of the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, and we are here at the lounge at Innovate Anguilla, one of our newest spaces for growing your business. And I'm here with some competent young persons in Anguilla. I'll let them introduce themselves. We have a representative and one of our clients from the Get Set Entrepreneur Program who would have completed that this year. We also have some students from the LHDS and ACC who are going to be competing in the Business Idea Basket 2024. So we'll also be able to hear from them. This week, Global Entrepreneurship Week, is a major time of year for entrepreneurs throughout the world. It is a representative week which is filled with activities to commemorate the works of young persons in entrepreneurship and also to promote entrepreneurship for others out there. This year's theme is entrepreneurship is for everyone, which is true. Entrepreneurship is for children, persons in middle age, and even for persons who are older. And so we are here to discuss that. We'll present our ideas and even some historical facts about entrepreneurship for the island and much more to come. So at this time, I'd like to have our guests introduce themselves, starting off.
Pleasant good morning. I am Denroy V. Gums. I am the founder of the Dim House, the Donor Major House, which is a video podcasting studio, and also pastor. People probably know me as Pastor Denroy Gums, and I was blessed to be a part of the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation. This year, I would have completed a 6-week course, I think it was, Convio, and it was an awesome experience. So I'm excited to share my experience with that program and also my experience with being a new entrepreneur, a new businessman.
Wonderful.
Good morning, my name is Abigail Campbell. I'm a fifth form business student at Albina Lake Hatch Comprehensive School. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kirani Vantapool. I am 18 years old and I am from the ACC.
All right, wonderful. So once again, this is Global Entrepreneurship Week under the theme of Entrepreneurship is for everyone. I know that Kirani and Ms. Campbell have some questions for us, so I'd like to just jump into that and hear your thoughts on entrepreneurship, business in Angola.
So, first question is, what inspired you to become the chairman at the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation?
Okay, so I was actually chosen to do so. I didn't really have any inclination to be the chairman, but I guess through my dedication and experience in entrepreneurship over the years, up until that point, I was managing our family business for the past 5 years. So I was chosen, I guess, along that basis. It's been a very, very exciting time, especially seeing as we've been able to develop a space like this for persons to be able to grow their businesses, and even seeing persons like Mr. Ben-Rai comes here, go through the Get Set Entrepreneur Program, similar to what I would have done back in 2013, and then now being able to see the fruits of their training and mentorship and even accessing funds for startup. So, I wouldn't have sought the position, but I'm very happy I was able to be chosen to be here in this capacity.
Okay, can you describe the main goals of the foundation and how they benefit entrepreneurs in Angola?
Yes. So the main goals of the foundation is really the removal of the barriers to entry for young persons to become entrepreneurs. Some of those barriers to entry would include access to training, and that's why we have the Get Set Entrepreneur Program, access to funding, so we have grants and also low interest loans up to 10,000 US or 28,000 EC, and we have mentorship as well, which is also a very important part of that, which is pairing young persons with mentors who are able to point them in the right direction. for me as an entrepreneur, I feel like that is one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. Having people who say, hey, I see your drive, I see that you want to reach to a certain destination. If you go this way, it's going to be longer, but if you go this way, it'll be a lot shorter and a lot easier. So that is the purpose of a mentor. And there are many good mentors out there. Sometimes you may not notice that the person is mentoring you, but we try to find mentors who are able to put in the time that's necessary to assist young persons, and also who have a wealth of knowledge. They don't necessarily be in the field of your business, but just being able to be somebody that's been running a business. You have certain ideas about how to market it, how to do the accounting, and how to grow the business, even without being in the industry the person wants to.
So, in your experience, what would you say are some of the challenges young entrepreneurs face today, and how does the foundation address these challenges?
Yes. I would say that some of the challenges would be what I would have listed out: access to training, access to funding and mentorship, but also access to comfortable spaces for being able to operate a business. For me, starting out, I didn't have a space. I operated from my home, but at times you'd want to have a meeting with somebody, you had to find somewhere. So I used to go to Tea Box Lounge and get a little tea, and when I have my meetings with clients, I'll just buy them a tea. When in business school and so forth, they always say that if you want to speak to somebody that is, you know, a influential person and so forth, they would say, buy them a coffee. Ask them to buy them a coffee. So that is a good starting point for engaging with people and so forth. So I bought them a tea because I don't really drink coffee like that. And so this space is one that has access to computers, access to printing services, rentable spaces, and desks that you can come in and have a quiet space to work from, and be able to collaborate with other entrepreneurs, and even to just sit in the lounge like we are today and have discussions. Other areas and issues I think that we face comes by way of growing your business into e-commerce. The Caribbean region has a problem with being able to access payments online. So a lot of persons try to access payment companies and businesses like PayPal and so forth by setting up accounts in the States or in the UK. But that comes with its own challenges, because if something goes wrong, you can't go to the States immediately, you can't call the right person at the right time. I think that's one of the biggest issues that we're facing now, especially seeing as we're going into more information technology businesses, we're pushing AI as well. That is something that needs to be fixed before we can see young persons going into businesses in that sense. I've been advocating for it for a very long time. It is a challenge that even our banks here have not really been able to find a solution for, and even the Caribbean region in general. But I think that with that being solved, we'll be able to see businesses springboarding into other areas. So because of that shortfall, we've only really been seeing businesses that come up in landscaping or culinary, which Anguilla is known as a culinary capital, so you could understand why. But we want to see some more knowledge industries being coming up, where you can access markets that are outside of Anguilla for your as your clients and your customers. Anguilla is only so large. There's only so many persons that you can sell to. But if we can find a way to get out to them, then I think that we'll be in a really good position. Yeah.
How does the foundation support youth in transforming their business ideas into sustainable ventures?
Okay, so someone who is entrepreneurially inclined can come to the foundation and they can inquire to find out what opportunities we have. The first main opportunity I would say is the Get Set Entrepreneur Program. That is a great springboard for learning about what business is, what it takes to run and operate a business, and it culminates with the creation of a business plan. Now, it is fine and okay to come without a business idea, because you can just have the want to be able to run your own business. After the Get Set program, it will help to um, create, help you create ideas. So business ideation is one of the courses that is offered, and you do stuff like the business idea canvas, and then that will lead into developing your business plan. Um, Once you create your business plan, it is at that point that you have to make the decision as to whether you'd like to proceed to starting the business immediately. You may want to hold off on that for a little bit and kind of get your ideas together, figure out how you're going to fund it, how you're going to manage it. But you'll always have that opportunity through the AYBF, even if you start the business 5 years later, once you're between the age of 18 and 35. And once you're ready and you need to access funding, we'll then provide that assistance. If you didn't need funding and you just start with your own capital, that is fine as well. We'll assign you a mentor who will then be able to take you through the steps of developing that business into a successful business. It is important to know that when you go into business, we always say that the success of that business really comes after 5 years, which I find to be true. It's not an instant gratification kind of concept. It's not like if I launch this business right now, I'm gonna make $1,000 immediately. It's not really that. That's not really how it works. You might spend 5,000 to make 1,000 today, but if you stick with it, within the 3 years, 5 years, you might find that it reverses. You might spend 1,000 to make five. So that's also one of the important things that comes out of our relationship with our clients. It is not something that you do just because. You have to have a passion for it. You have to be self-motivated and driven, because the challenges that you face will always be there, and each time you solve one problem, another one presents itself. And one of the key things, concepts of what an entrepreneur is a problem solver.
What role does financial assistance play in your programs, and how can it help people? How can people gain access to it?
Okay. Money is the biggest motivator. Ultimately, there's no lie in that. People do not work for you unless you are able to pay, and you are not able to run and own a business unless you're able to make money. So we have to be very certain that young persons who want to start businesses understand that fact. That money that you loan, whether you loan it from us or otherwise, has to be repaid. It is your duty, it is what you sign on to. But we provide the financial knowledge of how best to navigate that. You'll understand what your expenditures are, you'll understand how your profits can impact your ability to pay, and once we are clear with your understanding of how that financial side of it works, we'll then take you to be able to access funding through the AYBF, whether it is through the innovation side of it, or it is by way of our loans facility.
So, can you share some success stories of young entrepreneurs who have been through the foundation?
Okay, so I could call myself a success story. I've been through the foundation. In 2013, I did the Get Set Entrepreneur Program. We also have Miss Tiffany Rogers, who would have also done that. She owns Just Imagine Events. We have Valinda Hodge, who has a doula business, which is a really cool and different kind of business that you have never seen in Anguilla before. Where she assists new mothers, expecting mothers to make the step into motherhood. We also have Mr. Labidano Richardson. He is a landscaper, and he has Alka Landscaping. He's been doing an amazing job ensuring that our roadsides are well pedicured. I see him at Float, ensuring that their landscaping is well done, and I've seen him grow from just being himself to now hiring a team of up to 3 other persons. And I would say that the greatest success that you can find when owning and operating a business is growing a team, getting persons who are then able to advance the business further, because there's only so much you can do by yourself.
What initiatives are in place to foster an entrepreneurial culture among Anguillan youth?
Okay. So the question one more time, please.
What initiatives are in place to foster an entrepreneurial culture among the youth?
Okay. Well, I would say our partnerships with the LACS in particular, the Business Idea Basket, is one of those initiatives that we have. It gets you thinking about entrepreneurship and business ownership before you even finish school. It prepares you to then, when you're finished with school, be able to take over and guide yourself towards that realization. Um, because I feel like a lot of students, when they start off, the first thing that is always drilled into their mind is being a worker, not to be an employer. Let me say it directly. To be an employee, school teaches you to be an employee instead of an employer. And I feel like that is something that we are really missing the mark on, because we want to have independent young persons coming out of Anguilla who are able to chart a course and develop the country to be one that's extremely successful. I always say that entrepreneurship is the lifeblood of any country. A lot of emphasis is placed on developing persons to be able to produce new products and new services that would then make doing business in the island easier, because um, without Dan here, we wouldn't be able to do our podcasting as easily, right? And even with Valinda, who does doulaing, um, she is now changing the way we look at motherhood and becoming a mother, and solving those problems that the country faces. So the entrepreneurs are the problem solvers of our country, and I think that BIB especially is one of those great initiatives that is helping us to capture young persons before they even finish school.
So, how does the foundation collaborate with other organizations to enhance the impact on youth entrepreneurship?
So we are partnered with, firstly, the Youth Business International. So we're an accredited member, and through that we're able to access um, training and other support from them. We are also partnered with um, Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago, also the Dominica Youth Business Trust. We also are part of the Youth Business Caribbean, and they would have assisted us with developing our training manual for the Get Set Entrepreneur program, and align it with the needs of Anguilla. Yeah. So we have a variety of organizations internationally and regionally that we are partnered with, but then also locally we have the Chamber of Commerce, we have the Social Security Board, education, financial institutions. Representatives from all of these bodies are on and part of the council that makes up the Anguilla Business Foundation. So when we're discussing initiatives, we have a broad base of knowledge that we can pull from and ensure that our impact is one that is holistic for the island. Yeah.
What advice would you give young individuals looking to start their own business?
Um, Best advice is to do it. Sit down and think. Think of what business you're going to present and really what problems you're going to solve. If you look at it from a problem solving perspective, you then be able to develop a business that people want. So, in my case, I have two businesses. The second one I started with my sister, Quest Experiences. One of the problems that we saw was that Anguilla was um, missing a very important part of tourism, which I saw everywhere else, and that was the integration of our culture and our history into the tourism product. So we would have set out to do so. But another problem we saw was that Anguilla was losing a lot of its culture, its history because of acculturation. And so we wanted to do two things. We wanted to preserve the culture of Anguilla by creating products which would then also be able to be sold to our tourism product and also utilized by our locals. So we brought on a lot of young persons, a lot of children to do like salt picking, to do Johnny cake making and that kind of stuff. And we do it in a way that's really fun and engaging, like our great treasure hunt. That pulls a lot of persons from the island and tests your knowledge about Anguilla and gets you to see that you really don't know Anguilla as much as you think you do. And once you establish that, people are then more curious. I like to say I look at Anguilla through the eyes of a tourist, and it keeps it very intriguing and interesting. So on that basis, I would love to see young persons who want to start businesses start first as what problems am I going to solve for Anguilla by introducing my business. Okay.
So what are some future plans for expansion?
Okay. For AYBF or for me?
Give us both.
Yes, so future plans for expansion really, most of that rests in the Innovate Anguilla incubator. This space in itself has so much opportunity. As of now, this incubator is more focused on ICT and also providing spaces for persons to have a safe and clean space to be able to work from. But then we also have areas such as manufacturing that we can have incubators created for food and so forth. So as of now, this is just the beginning of what would potentially become a national movement to try and ease the burdens of young entrepreneurs into getting into entrepreneurship. That's a fair question. Yes, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your line of questioning. And so now I'm going to change over and be the interviewer. And I'm going to start off with Mr. Gomes. You can tell us more about your business and your experience with the Get Set Entrepreneur program, any areas of significance for you that has assisted you in developing your business.
Thank you so much. So as I would mention before, as they're doing a major house, the Dim House, and it's a video podcasting studio primarily. That's the main product that I offer, where persons could come into my space. They could choose a wall or two. They could customize a space to fit their niche with a logo or a backdrop, and I would record their video, record their audio, and I would edit their content. So they come in, choose a space, customize it to fit their niche, and I do all the work for them. And one of the things that you should keep in mind with being entrepreneurs is that people pay for convenience. So if you're going to start a business, make sure that it's convenient for people. So I take care of editing and all that stuff for my clients. And with the deliverables, you get the full video. You also get a few clips, like maybe 10 minutes to 14 minutes, 15 minutes. And then you also get reels, so 30-second reels, with your deliverables. Another service that I provide is content creation. So if you want to do a talking head video, you can choose a backdrop as well. You just shoot your talking head content. So for example, if Clenvio wants to talk about Quest, he could come. If he has a specific advertisement or something, he could come and do that. I'm an artist as well. I am a professional recording artist, so I also provide audio recording. So if persons want to record a track, a song, or even an advertisement, you can come to the Dim House and get that done. And I'm into construction. My dad owns Leewood Construction, so I also provide cost estimates, that service, and I act as a draftsman to where I get clients who's thinking about building a house. I get their ideas out of their mind on paper, and I do architectural sketching for them. And I have a network of architects and engineers that I can pass their sketch onto, and that sketch becomes a working drawing and eventually a house that they could live in. So that's pretty much all my services that I provide at the Dim House. And taking the course from the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation really helped me because it allowed me to focus more on budgeting and financing. Because sometimes with an entrepreneur, you have so much passion that you know where you want to get to. You kind of know how much funds you're going to need, but then there's other expenses that come up in the whole preparation process. And some of those expenses are not accounted for. And then you open your business, you start spending, because if you're renting a space, you're paying rent, electricity, and all that type of stuff, and you don't have the clientele, you don't have the revenue coming in to actually cover these expenses. So the courses on financial management, the segment rather on financial management with the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation really helped me to kind of narrow in on that area of my business and tighten up a few things. So it was very good. What was the most impactful thing for me was being around other entrepreneurs, sitting in a room with other people that went on a similar journey with me and how they overcame and different things that they did, especially in regards to importing stuff, in regards to marketing. So just bouncing off ideas, gleaning from other people, iron sharpening iron, so to speak. So it was a very, very, very good experience, and I would encourage you guys to make use of it when that time comes.
Wonderful. What are some of the challenges that you'd say you faced in establishing your business?
Well, it's an audio and video business mainly. One of the challenges was learning the gear, just being able to navigate the camera, making sure my audio is good. Sound treatment, learning different sound treatment because you're recording, a podcast. You want to have good mics. You want to have good sound treatment. And my business is located right next to the road, so I had to make sure that I don't hear vehicles passing while I'm recording a podcast. So just learning the gear and just learning the different equipment that I needed to make this work and make it work on a level that is above average, very professional. I had to learn lighting and all that stuff. That was a challenge for me. And also just getting it set up from a legal standpoint in terms of inland revenue and all the things that I needed to do, getting a business license and all that stuff to make sure that my business is legit. It's not something that's a side hustle. It's not something that I just wanted to do, but it's a legit business. You come in, you can see my business license on the wall, and that's very important. That's very important. So navigating the different paperwork, the different things that I needed to do to make it legit from inland revenue was a challenge because, as Clinview was saying, I didn't have a mentor to walk me through this. I asked my parents who are seasoned entrepreneurs some advice, and they were able to help me to navigate that process. But I was just doing it on my own, so I didn't have a mentor. But the goal is to get it done, regardless of the challenges.
Yes, definitely. And what would have caused you or empower you to start that formal business?
I am an orator. I've been preaching for a very long time, but I realized that who I am goes beyond preaching. I found that even in one-on-one conversations, wherever I would go, I tend to empower people, inspire people. So I always wanted a space to not only study for sermon preparation, but also a space kind of like Innovate Anguilla right here, where I could just work and lock in. I'm also an author. I have a published book. So I wanted a space where I could just work and build. So I found this space, but then I was just like, well, I'm renting this. I have to have something to generate income. I don't want to be paying rent out of my own funds. So I just decided to monetize my skills, which is my oratory skills, my audio skills, studio skills, and I decided to go into videography, and I started a video podcasting studio. So that would have been able to generate some income so I could cover rent and still have a space to be creative and have a space to inspire other artists and other people that may be interested in doing the same thing that I'm doing. And also, sorry, I have a heart for young people. And one of the things that I've realized that's happening in Anguilla, right on the lines where the Clinton was speaking, is that we are kind of slowly losing the values of that our parents was raised with. And there's no one, there's no place, there's no platform where young people can lock into, plug in, and get game, so to speak. Like, teach me how to do life, teach me how to navigate relationships, marriage, business, just teach me as a young person coming out of high school how to play my cards right, how to invest, how to make money, how to be successful. So I wanted to start a video podcast as well, doing a major podcast, which will be catered to preserving the values that our forefathers had, preserving history in a sense, and then just creating a catalog of information that 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, you could plug into the Doing a Major podcast, plug into this platform and get value, get game on how to navigate life.
Well, that's wonderful. Um, Understanding why and how you started is very important. It gives other persons who want to potentially go into business the opportunity to envision themselves doing the same
Right.
in their respective
Yeah.
business. So at this time, I'd like to now switch over to our awesome BIP contestants here to get a sense of what we can expect,
Yeah.
and even why you would have tried to contest.
Hip hop.
Yeah, why are you in BIP? What's the reason?
I see Bib as a platform for me to begin my entrepreneurial journey, to actually get my feet wet and be a part of the experience planning and doing feasibility analysis to see what makes sense and having it judged. So
Okay.
I believe that's definitely
That's good. How about yourself?
Okay, so my experience, I entered BIM through my friend. She was like teaching that we should do it because it's a good opportunity, especially since we're now in fifth form. And it has been, honestly, it's been a stressful but a great experience. Um, Seeing how us as youth can help to develop Angola innovatively and doing our best to help our island while using our skills. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us about the theme? What is the theme of BIP this year? What can we expect in terms of the kinds of businesses that might be presented? You don't have to say your idea, but
so. Of course not. So the theme is creating a business idea around artificial intelligence in the context of contributing to Anguilla's economy.
okay,
So using artificial intelligence contributing to the economy.
okay,
And I feel as though AI literacy is something that is lacking, especially in our economy. So
Yeah.
this is a great initiative to get the word up there, get the
okay. All right. Well, seeing as Anguilla has taken the world by storm because of the that AI domain, it is actually very relevant that we also look at what other opportunities are available when it comes to artificial intelligence. Because it's not just the domain. The domain is just like a signature to say, hey, I operate a business that is in the AI field. But Anguilla can have the potential to go a little bit further into developing the artificial intelligence programming and even companies that can tap into a global market instead of just being um, money from a domain sale. So it is very fitting. I'm excited to see what areas you all have come up with. I'm sure you're just about ready. You think you're just about ready? Are you still some more prep work that you have to do?
Definitely, have to get it all tightened together
Okay.
for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But for the most part, confident and ready.
Okay, well that's good. Well, I know that it's tomorrow. That's like tomorrow. But for the listening public, just so you know, The Business Idea Basket competition is tomorrow. It will be at the Campus Q cafeteria building, and that starts at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, so that starts at 6 o'clock at the Campus Q cafeteria, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. Do you know how many teams there are?
Yes, I think there's 6 teams.
Six teams. Six teams, each vying for the winning spot, with businesses centered around artificial intelligence and how that can assist Anguilla in its development. Wonderful. So, do you have any questions for awesome students here?
Oh no, I don't.
Okay, no problem. Well, most of the questions gonna come after for the judging
Yeah.
tomorrow, so you gotta be prepared. You have to have your mind ready for that. And so, just to go over the process for BIB, each team has 10 minutes to present their business idea, similar to a elevator pitch, just a little longer. And then thereafter, there's judges who will be judging on a set criteria, and they'll then pose questions about your business to get a better insight as to how that business will run, and even to get a better understanding if you really know and understand what you're selling to us, you know. So I'm very excited for that. And to continue on with the week of activities, we have the official opening of the Innovate Anguilla incubator, which we are in right now. And so this is a sneak peek for our listening audience of the lounge at Innovate Anguilla. The building itself is located in the Rogers building, just across the road from the hospital on the eastern side. This building originally would have been a soda factory. Um, Not many people may know that. It then went on to become the uh, where WISE and PRU was located. And now, today, it is a incubator for youth businesses, which includes computer labs, an area for learning software development. It also has meeting rooms, so a larger conference space, smaller conference space. Each of those, along with the IT room, has Promethean boards, which are the same boards that our primary schools have for learning. The touch screen, basically big computers on the wall. So that is a great assistance for persons to be able to learn and even present. In addition, we also have hot desks where persons can sit at and run their business from. So they can either come with their own computers, they can utilize some of the computers that are there, and they can sit down and type all day, write their reports, conduct their business. And it's a nice, quiet, clean space that breeds creativity. It breeds collaboration. And we want persons to be able to come here and feel like they can develop whatever business idea that they have. Because outside of that, we also have the other aspects of the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, such as the Get Set program and so forth, to further assist them into developing their businesses. So that was Wednesday. On Thursday, we have mixer and panel discussion with the members of the AYBF and students from the ALHCS. That will be at 10 a.m. And we also have a radio interview on tourism is key with the AYBF and tourism entrepreneur and clients and the ALHCS business studies classes. That's at 11 on Radio Anguilla. We also have a financial literacy learning session with Mr. John Sandyford. He was one of the persons who assisted us with developing the business plan for Innovate Anguilla, and he'll be joining us. That we actually have 2 sessions. Those are completely booked out, which is great. It means that persons are very interested in financial literacy. And the final big finale is the expo on Friday at the grounds of Campus Q. The Entrepreneurship Expo features many entrepreneurs from across Anguilla, in addition to youth entrepreneurs who will be able to showcase their businesses We welcome you to support them by purchasing and subscribing to what they have to offer. So at this time, I'd like to welcome um, our esteemed guests to have some final words before we close today's media briefing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. It was definitely wonderful. And I would just encourage the students to keep at it. You know, entrepreneurship is not, it's not easy. I'm pretty sure you would see those Instagram memes where it's not a straight line, but it's zigzagging up and down and all that stuff. But keep at it, you know, stay focused, stay locked in.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I would say this is a very good opportunity. And to the listening audience, I would say definitely take advantage of this space. It's a really good opportunity for youth and anyone looking to start a business. And be sure to come out tomorrow at 6 p.m. and to the expo on Friday. And I also want to say that the theme for BIB is also really good because AI has taken the world by storm this year. And through BIB, we can see how AI can benefit our economy very well. So yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, like Abigail would have mentioned, come on out tomorrow and see our great ideas, our brilliant ideas. Look out for my group, you know, see what we
Actually,
have
look
to
out
add.
for my group as well. Look out for my group. Yeah, look
That's
out for
wonderful.
our group.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh.
yes. But this is a great initiative. I would say we're definitely going in a positive direction. Persons need more hands-on things to keep them out of the streets and doing negative things, you know. The devil has work for idle hands. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, let those idle hands be the solution to the problems Anguilla faces. I can see we have some heavy competition here, and hopefully, when you, after the development of your ideas for BIB, you can potentially see those ideas become actual businesses, and the Anguilla Business Foundation will be here to support you in going a step further and actually making it a reality. So at this time, I'd like to thank all of you for listening. We appreciate all the support that we've gotten. We look forward to seeing you supporting our other initiatives throughout the week, which includes BIB, the launch of this Innovate Anguilla Incubator, and even the Expo on Friday. And if there are any other young persons who are interested in learning more about what the Anguilla Business Foundation is about, learning about the Get Set Entrepreneur Program, and have any ideas or business ideas that you'd like to flesh out, this is the space. We are the persons who will assist you, and we look forward to seeing Anguilla become more entrepreneurial in the near future because entrepreneurship is for everyone. Thank you.